All right. I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
On December 27th, I work for a casino. My father got put in NICU, and he was, they was telling, giving me the worst. We had to make a decision, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, anyway, that Friday I went in with the correct paperwork saying he's in NICU.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take some time off, because we might have to make a final decision.
Right.
Well, about 2 hours later, after I took the paper down there, let my boss know and everything, they called me back, the director called me back and said, your time that you asked off was denied. We're going to have to separate employment. And I said, why? They said, because you abandoned your job. Is there anything I can do about that?
So, Ladrina, they let you go because you asked off.
Yes, sir.
That's
and
your,
I
that's,
have
that's
all
the
the
way you
medical records and everything. Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you. Matthew?
Wow, that's a pretty tough situation.
That's a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, it is. Listen, Mississippi is a right-to-work state, which is, what it means is you can essentially be fired for any reason except race, religion, creed, color, those kind of things. So you can be fired. For example, I could say I don't like this coat. I could fire Kenny, or he could look at my tie and I don't like my tie. You could even be fired for a wrong reason. So meaning that he could have even confused you with another employee that didn't even ask off.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter. So that being said, in Mississippi, the rights of employees, quite frankly, are not great. They're very limited. But there is the FMLA action that you can kind of consider.
That's a great idea.
So that's an option as well. So very difficult. Sounds like an employer maybe you don't want to be with long term anyway, if that's the kind of attitude they have. But the FMLA in that situation would be an option as well. So.
And then, Matt, tell them what FMLA stands for.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Family Medical Leave Act, and so that's an area that you can get time. It's protected employment. That if your employer has enough employees, they fall within this act. And the federal law says that if the employee, if you're big enough, you have to follow that rule. So if your employee can take time off to attend to a medical situation, and they cannot be fired. Now it has limits. Okay, it does not
Sure.
go on forever,
That's
but
right.
it does give you a certain amount of time to do that. A lot of folks, for example, take it off with children, childbirth, things of that nature as well. But so definitely something to think about, and for sure call a lawyer on Monday.
Matt, you got right to it. Is this worth a phone call to an attorney?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the good news is, Kenny, and actually it dovetails very nicely what Jim had to say earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
This happened just recently, and so that's good. In the law, things, your position rarely improves over time. So absolutely,
Right.
good for you. The good news is it happened recently. You're on it, and so I would call definitely somebody on Monday and take care of it.
And say, give them the story she just told us,
That's right.
and mention Family Medical Leave Act, and then
Yep.
go from there.
Yeah, and like everything else, there are certain lawyers that kind of specialize in this.
Right.
There are not a lot, but there are a handful on the coast. And so generally, when you go to the right lawyer, even if it's not something that they do, what they normally do is they direct and they say, oh, you've got this kind of question. I've got just the lawyer for you. You need to go X, Y, and Z. That's certainly what we do, Kenny. We get calls all the time on areas
Right.
of law, quite frankly, we don't do. And so we're very, very happy at no charge, free of charge, just to say, you've got you've got a situation here. We know just the person, for you.
Gotcha.
They'll take care of you. Here's their phone number. Here's their name. Go ahead and call them today and, get going.